Hello, welcome to another video. Umut here. Today I'm going to work on my art journal again, my Dilutions art journal. I started journaling back and forth, which helped to keep my spine actually, so I would recommend doing it. And I'm going to select a page today to work on a new page. For my background, I decided to use my pigment powders with many brands so that you can see their differences or see that everything works actually. So I have my 13 Arts brushes and Lindy's Gang, and I'm showing you the colors that I'm using today so you can see it on the screen. And my color scheme is more like corals, salmon, and blues and violets. So I'm going to combine these colors to create a very nice shiny background. This 13 Arts red blue is actually shimmery, so it will leave a really nice shimmer. And I'm not going to use water again. I will use my matte medium to apply the pigments. But before I start my background, I wanted to prepare my focal point, which is these cute images from ElenaZinskiArt again, from her Etsy shop. These are digital stamps, and when I got this digital stamp, it comes with both colored version and not colored version, black and white, which is great if you want to do a quick and easy page, get the color inspiration and everything. I think she did an amazing job with this colored one, but I want to show you as many techniques as possible, so I'm going to use the one that is black and white. I downloaded this on my computer. I'm using a Mac, so it's Keynote for me, but for PC users it would be a PowerPoint. So I opened the blank page that would replicate the A4 size that I would print these images. I'm going to print these images separately, so I'm cutting the image and leaving the girl out as much as possible, and leaving these beautiful leaves with hearts. Today I'm going to show you how to print these on a parchment, or what some call a deli paper, which is very thin, that will get lost in our page. I'm arranging the sizing more or less, and I'm going to then take my A4 cardstock and actually take my parchment paper or deli paper. You will see it's very thin. I have this big thing that I ordered cheap from Amazon. If you look for copy paper, parchment paper or deli paper, it will come up and you will see cheap resources. And I'm going to cut it in the size of an A4 paper that goes into my printer. And I have an A4 cardstock at the back of it to measure it. So I just cut it in that size. Why I am printing these images on a parchment paper is to make them really disappear into the page, and you will see when I do it. So I'm just cutting it for now, and it's now an A4 size. I'm just going to tape it at the very top, very slightly, like I'm going to secure that they are together, and at the bottom as well, so that I can separate this deli paper from the paper very easily. You can use a Prit glue as well. It will be you can take it off easily, but I'm going to tape it, and I'm going to put it in my printer, the deli paper down, so that it prints on the deli paper. And as you see, it printed on the deli paper. Now I can use it and it will disappear into my page. So it will be a different technique to use these digital stamps. I won't have to fussy cut it. That's the whole idea. And now I'm going to print my girl. So now I'm going to cut the other part of the digital stamp and prepare my girl according to the size that I want. So I'm going to make her a little bit smaller since my page is smaller. And then I'm going to print it on a normal cardstock to color it later. And you will see how I will use these different methods on my art journal today after I prepare my background. Now let's prepare this background with these beautiful colors. I'm going to use matte medium as I told you, so I'm going to take a little bit powder from these powders that I prepared. This is saltwater taffy from Lindy's gang, and I am taking my matte medium on this plastic plate to use with the powders, and I will use it from the plate directly. This saltwater taffy is a little bit light, too light for this journal, I think, so I'm not going to use it a lot, but it's okay. I saw it now. I will switch to the coral color, and I believe it will be a little bit more prominent. Now that you see, it's a very nice salmon color that I would like to have, so I will start having it here and there. This process will be a matter of blending, so it may look ugly to you at some point, but it will look nice in the end, don't worry. And also we will use a lot of images on this background anyway, but I love blending colors like this, layer after layer, which gives you a very nice result in the end. That's what I do with acrylics as well. So don't get discouraged when you see some mess on your page. Keep blending and keep adding colors. Eventually it will look much better. Now I decided to add some blue, and then I will add some violet. And remember, you can always alter whatever is on your page using gesso, covering it up and doing whatever you want after that. So I'm not panicking or worried at any stage when I see this mess. I use this beautiful red blue from 13 Arts, which has a very nice shimmer, and I will show you in the end. Wait for the finished page when I show the result. That shimmer will be amazing. I'm using the coral color again and keep mixing and mixing. And from time to time I'm spraying my page to activate the pigments and move them easier, but eventually I'm using my matte medium. I'm doing it also to have more control, and it seals my page directly, so after this color won't move, it will be permanent, and I will be able to do whatever I want on top of it. And I think at this stage I am more or less happy with my background. It's the colors that I wanted. And actually in the middle I will make a white halo that will help my images to stand out afterwards, and also have some nice fading out effect. So I took my gesso and I am applying it with my brush or hand, spraying some water from time to time, just fading it out from inside to outside. It's also a matter of blending, so you need to be patient and blend it out from inside out until you are happy with the result yourself. I know you might be thinking, oh, you created all this background and now you're covering it with gesso, but you know, this is the effect I want. I wanted a little bit contrast in the middle of the page that will make actually the other colors stand out much more. And also it will prepare a nice background when I put my girl. And I'm using here a mop brush to blend it out nicely and soften the effect on the edges. And if you want to see the real speed, this is 4 times faster, so you can go down below and make it normal speed. There is a button for the choice of speed. Actually I will do the white splashes all around the edges with the watered down gesso, because I think this white contrast is making the colors even more visible. And here is a background stamping, Bitty Grunge from Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous collection. And I took 2 colors that will be nice on this background, a violet from Archival Ink, Majestic Violet, and Cornflower Blue, again from Archival. I took a couple of little stamps and I'm stamping it here and there around the edges. And actually, when I look at it, it looks kind of like a galaxy background, no? So here's an idea to you. If you want to do a galaxy background, you can use these colors and methods as well. I could easily put a couple of planets and make it another page completely. But I will stick to my plan today. So after I finish this background stamping, I'm going to actually now glue all these leaves that I printed on the deli paper. So I'm just tearing it with my fingers. This is sort of like napkin journaling. If you print your images colored or black and white on this paper, you can easily make them disappear and have your images like stamped. So you can print a lot of things and use them like stamps. Even if you want to use them as focal images, you don't have to fussy cut them. Some images are not just to fussy cut, very delicate like this, and it's a great way to use those images like I did today. As you see, you cannot even tell if it's a paper or a stamp. Today I wanted to stick them on a background already, so they have their colors. I don't need to color them. But if you want to use them and empty and then color it, you can just stick them before you do everything and then color them to have your colored images as if you have stamped them. What I want to do next is to give a little bit more of the colors around the edges so they disappear completely. It's already disappeared, but I will give color right on the edges so I make sure they are completely invisible. And I wanted a little bit more of this coral color anyway, so I'm just going around the edges and strengthening the color here and there. By the way, in the meantime, I can tell you, Elena again kindly offered to give my viewers another 10% discount to purchase digital stamps from her shop. So the code is up here, you can see, and it will be down below at the description area as well. And it will be relevant only for May, so hurry up and grab her gorgeous designs when you have the chance to have it cheaper. And again, her shop link will be down at the description area as well. I decided to make the leaves a little bit more prominent using some darker colors. So I took my Faber-Castell brush markers. Doesn't matter, you can use any kind of coloring. You can use acrylic paints, watered down, because you don't want to cover all these lines. Anything that will be transparent is fine. So now I'm going to color my girl, which I love. I took my Prismacolor pencils. I am keeping them like this in this container with zippers. I have the, I think, 132 set. There's another set which is 150. I think it's the cheapest of good quality artist pencils, and they are wax based. So it's about layering and layering. For the ones who want to see this coloring process, I will only show the skirt because that's the one, the largest area, and I will do some highlights. So I thought that would be the most useful. And if you don't want to see it, you can skip this part and fast forward easily. I've been asked to keep these parts several times, so I'm just keeping a part of it. I am again using the color scheme that I used on my background, violets and salmons. So I am just, when you look at the skirt, there would be a highlight area that would make it look realistic. That's why I am leaving the middle part empty and coloring it white actually, so that's my highlight. And I'm going to make the edges up and down darker and darker so that it will look more realistic. So I took a few shades of violets, a few shades of salmon, for this process, and I am going to go back and forth blending all these colors, and you will see in the end there will be darker parts, highlight parts that will make it more realistic than coloring it with one color only. If you want to learn more about coloring, I always say for me the coloring queen is Dede. I love her channel, so I will leave her channel's link down below at the description area as well. She does coloring live, like real time. So as you see, I'm going darker and darker on the edges of the skirt, and lighter and lighter in the middle, but I'm always blending it back. If I color with dark, with the lighter violet, and in the middle it remained white, and I colored the rest myself. For the leaves, I'm going to show another method. You can easily use your powder pigments again. So I'm just mixing them all with some matte medium and coloring them much easily. The girl was too intricate to do such thing, but the leaves are okay. So I just I felt lazy and chose to color them like this. I left the crown empty, and you will see it in a minute why. After I mix these colors on the leaves, I'm just going to stick my girl down. I don't need to worry about anything smudging because I did everything with matte medium. And I just cut this leaf by mistake when I was cutting it, but it's okay. I will just stick it, and it won't be even visible. Now I decided to add some gold to this page because I think these salmon, violets and blues go very well with gold. So I'm going to use this 3D I don't know, liquid pearl, which is not Ranger, on the crown and on the hearts, and it will add some little dimension to the page and interest for the viewers as well. I have a no brand version, but you can find these with Nuvo or Stickles, Ranger, so they are very accessible. I will also make the dots on the girl's skirt with these gold, and add some gold details on the leaves, and I'm going to fill these hearts with this gold too. Afterwards I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I chose one from a collection of Elena's made by Paper Artsy. These are amazing. She also has gorgeous and funny quotes, and I chose this one that goes with my page. I think I'm different because I'm not the same. And finally I'm going to make some gold splashes to bring everything together. You can use acrylic paints, anything you have, and I'm using my Liquitex ink to do these splashes. I will also link the stamps where you can buy them from ElenaZinski stamps that's made by Paper Artsy. So all the links will be down below. Finally, I'm making my border with a gelato, darker purple color. This will frame it very well and draw the eye inside the page to the center. So I think it finalizes things well. And you can see the page now, it's finished. You will see the shimmer that I was talking about. I love that subtle shimmer, and the gold details here is even more visible. You don't see it from up, but in real life it looks very nice. I love this page and these stamps that I used. Really, I had so much fun. Don't forget to visit Elena's Etsy store and use the code when you can. All the links are down below at the description area. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it wasn't too long again. Don't forget to subscribe, like or comment, and share with your friends. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.